But welcome back to Let Die. Welcome back to Let Die. That's Twitch, I believe. Then I got my phone. Yeah, manage your channel from your phone. Oh, you know what? I'm sitting on some of these. Let's make our lives a little easier.
Thank you for coming. Please state your desired floor.
I should probably plan this out. So, we want Ibada. Short path is not available. So, Hiromatsu to Yatagacho to Mitsuba. That's the path. Let's do it.
Going up.
It was weirdly meditative to like have something to
This
just really
vessel is a class 100 clean room.
to have something to really talk at length about. So I figure I'll try that again.
Thank you very much for using this service.
This time with a thing that I like a lot. So once upon a time, I trained, I received vocational training to work in a professional kitchen. I was taught in the ways of the culinary arts, and after my time in the class, I ultimately decided that I didn't really like cooking, wasn't really too into it. I definitely did not want to pursue it as a career. But after learning the techniques and learning how to cook food well, I began to have a fascination with a specific food item. I had always loved it before, but knowing what I knew and learning the nuance of cooking and different techniques and different ingredients and things, I began looking into this item more. And I thought about ways to improve it. It's something people take for granted. It's a staple that people just assume, hey, you know, anyone can make it. Easiest thing to make in the world. And while it is easy to learn, I feel that there is a skill ceiling that is higher than people expect. For example, it gave Gordon Ramsay trouble. Like, he made a video of himself making this item, and the world called him a fool. People were clowning on him and his version of this item. Proving that it's not as easy as everyone thinks to make a killer grilled cheese sandwich. And anytime I ever, bring the grilled cheese sandwich up to people as a, using my skills and expertise I had learned, to try and really study and get to the core of the grilled cheese sandwich, people scoff, people laugh, people, you know, chuckle. And they go, I'm sorry, but it's, you know, it's a grilled cheese sandwich. But it's really easy to just write it off as something you can make with, you know, a couple pieces of white bread, a slice of Kraft Single, or 2 slices of Kraft Single American cheese, and some butter. But that's a mediocre grilled cheese sandwich. What I want is a masterful grilled cheese sandwich. I've been to restaurants that have handmade artisanal, high-quality grilled cheese sandwiches. I even visited a restaurant that was purely just about grilled cheese sandwiches and nothing else. And there are factors you need to consider when wanting to make something more than a standard grilled cheese sandwich. For example, what bread do you put on? I mentioned the white bread, but there's different shapes of loaves of sourdough. My favorite is the long, like, more round loaf, where the individual pieces are long. That's my favorite kind of sourdough to use. Gives a lot of real estate to put a lot of cheese. I like packing a lot of cheese on my grilled cheese sandwiches. Because I really just like having a lot of cheese. I just really like cheese. Especially on my grilled cheese sandwich. But of course you can go multi-grain if you want a more rustic feel. There are plenty of options in bread to go with. There's also... That's not what I want. So yes, we now have touched on the bread roll. But how do we go about toasting or grilling this bread? One thing I do that's pretty unique to me as far as I know, I haven't heard too many other people doing it, is I put the pieces of bread in the toaster on a low setting. So that way it gives more firmness and structure to the bread when it's on the pan, when it's grilling, when it's toasting with the butter. Because I find that it gives it more structure, which makes it easier to flip. Because if it is not solid, then you end up with a poor flip, which can just really wreck the integrity of the sandwich. The cheese may slide, or you may, you know, have the 2 pieces of bread or toast be at the wrong angles, and you end up folding the cheese over on itself, and it's a whole mess. That's why I like toasting it, to give it the structure so those problems don't come up. Now, I mentioned toasting, or putting the bread on the pan and cooking it with the butter. But what technique is used to apply the butter? I've heard of some people just putting the butter in the pan and letting it melt, so that way the whole surface of the pan is prepared for the bread to go on top of. But Me personally, I apply the butter directly to the toast. I put it directly on there. That was way easier than I was expected. Hang on, I want to take a moment away from the grilled cheese for a moment. Okay. So when I said last time that this gun in this form has insane damage, this is what I was talking about. It's 2266. I got enough ultra pure iron by using the floor 27 shop that appears on Wednesdays and Sundays that lets you buy 5-star materials. That's what ultra pure iron is. It's a 5-star material that would appear rarely on floors 31 to 40, or 31 to 40 and 39 because the boss is on floor 40. Also, I did eat mushrooms, which increase your damage by 50%. I was worried that, you know, this may not go so smoothly because of the resistances that Jindai would have as the War Ensemble mid-boss to resist War Ensemble materials or guns specifically. I figured her pierce resistance would be super high and that it would be a bit of a fight. But wow, I wasted a guard shroom on nothing. Okay. But back to more serious matters, back to grilled cheese. So, yeah, I apply butter directly to the toast for my grilled cheese. That's what I do personally. Because instead of having all that butter be on the pan and not really go into the flavor of the cheese, I like to put all that butter directly into the bread so that way it is part of the grilled cheese instead of an accent to the grilled cheese. But that's me personally. So we have the bread. We have how the bread becomes grilled. But what of the cheese? Some people like to do, you know, the Kraft singles. It's shown in commercials all the time as, you know, that's what of, you know, it being used for grilled cheese sandwiches all the time. But me, I don't like the taste of individually wrapped American cheese slices, because to me they taste like the plastic they come in. I get a very plasticky taste from them. Not a super big fan. Which direction do I want? I'll figure it out. Me, I like cheddar a lot. Sharp cheddar. I like the flavor. It's also soft cheese, so it melts easy. But I've also tried Swiss. Swiss is pretty good. I also like provolone. Honestly, one of the best restaurant grilled cheeses I had. It was at a casino, and it was called the 5 cheese grilled cheese. It was very, you know, to the point. Nothing too fancy going on with naming convention or anything. You know, it is what it says on the tin. It had, I believe, if I remember correctly, cheddar, Swiss, provolone, mozzarella, and Parmesan was grilled into the bread. And they specifically use a waffle maker to make waffle bread to make the cheese with, and I forgot to switch. Quick fun fact, that person had Travis armor, at least in the jacket, from the Let Die No More Heroes collaboration event. But back to grilled cheese. So, yeah, no, that 5 cheese grilled cheese was to die for, especially with the Parmesan and being grilled directly into the waffle bread. So good. God, it's been years since I've had it. I really should go back and have it at some point. Really put my soul at ease. But yeah, so I'm a big proponent of mixing and matching cheeses. But you know, say you're someone who likes a bold, audacious grilled cheese sandwich, you can put blue cheese in there. Probably. I don't know what happens to blue cheese if it gets exposed to direct heat. All I know is that blue cheese is delicious. I love it. I like blue cheese crumbles on burgers, but I do not know if heat is bad for blue cheese or not. I should try and get a hold of crumbles and do that at some point. Now I'm just making myself hungry. But it is a necessary sacrifice for the sake of talking about grilled cheese. You know, say you're someone who wants a bit more fancy with the grilled cheese. You can put some brie on it. There are some fine cheeses you can go ahead and do. High quality luxury grilled cheese with if you really want.
Thank you for coming. Please
I need
state
to.
your desired going down.
Now I really want to test the viability of all these cheeses. When I have the spare cash to do it, I'm gonna go for it and report my findings.
That's right. Our customers are steadily increasing.
Now
We look forward
we've
to
gone
your
over
return.
the cheeses now at this point. And the base definition for a grilled cheese sandwich. The base ingredients, if you will, are the butter, the cheese, and the bread. But what about having something a little extra? I'm talking meat. Like, let's not mince words. Let's not beat around the bush. I'm talking about putting meat on your grilled cheese sandwich. I'm a big meat eater.
Thank you for coming. Please state your desired floor. Going up.
You know, I love shoving hot meat in my mouth. So, bacon, excellent. I've sometimes thrown whole strips in without even cutting them up. You know, cook it to where it's cooked but still pretty fatty, and just let my
This
teeth do the work.
elevator fulfills the highest safety standards.
I've also put imitation crab into a grilled cheese sandwich,
We look
waiting at the
forward to
last
your
possible
return.
second to put it in order to make sure it doesn't, you know, heat the crab up too much and it gets weird. I call the crab version grilled bourgeoisie. Because let's face it, if you're putting crab, imitation or otherwise, on a grilled cheese sandwich, you're being a fancy bitch. Like, an extravagant bitch is you. Was me when I made that sandwich. With how fast killing that last mid-boss went, I'm confident I don't really need the crushed shrooms. The crushed shrooms. That is not the direction I want. Let's see. Of course, making a grilled cheeseburger. Excellent. Solid. Because, yeah, the bread basically serves as like a toasted bun. A toasted bun with butter on it. Oh, I forgot. I forgot to mention something. I sometimes treat the butter I put on the bread. I sometimes, you know, when I like to treat myself, I will mix Parmesan into the butter that I apply to the toast. And I've tried the, you know, powder. I've tried, you know, shredded, fresher Parmesan. And both are delicious. If you want something more even, then, you know, go with the fresher one. But you're fine with a bit of inconsistency in the doneness or thoroughness of the bread, then you can just go with the powder version. And I knew that would be locked because it would be too good to be true to just go straight to the final boss without having to deal with the last mid boss. Oh. And I went downstairs, which means that that's reset. Well, I should have paid more attention to the map. That means I'm gonna need to kill Jindai again. Which will take a full clip, maybe clip and a half. Shouldn't be too big of an issue. But regardless. Getting my bearings on grilled cheese. Okay. So we got the cheeses. We discussed some of the add-ons. An honorable mention to the... still in the elevator.
Going down.
Shout out to Cheesecake Factory. Fried cheese, no. Yeah, fried macaroni and cheese balls. They took macaroni and cheese, put it into a little ball,
I am not
fried it.
well-versed when it comes to
Delicious,
escalators.
excellent. Comes as part of a burger. Felt my arteries clog as I was consuming it, but
forward to
hey,
your
you know,
return.
an extra couple weeks off my life for a delicious ass mac and cheese burger. Most all would argue not worth. And it probably isn't. I don't know. Ask me again when I'm like, you know, 65 on my deathbed. But while I'm in my 20s, it's pretty lit and worth it. Let's see if we look out and this path is the fast path. We want teal up. And here we go. Man, if I knew how to make those fried mac and cheese balls on my own. Yeah, no, it's probably better for my long-term health. I don't know how to make those. But I'm sure they would go excellently on a grilled cheese sandwich. So yes, now that we have discussed how you prepare the bread and discussed cheeses, in what form do you have the cheese ready? Do you use slices? Do you shred it? There are benefits to these. If you use slices, like slices that you cut with your own cheese slicer, or slices purchased, you know, deli style, then you get an even spread of the cheese. Like the cheese will be much more evenly distributed in the sandwich. However, if you say took a cheese grater to a block of cheese and prepare your cheese that way, then you actually end up with cheese that melts faster, because the individual pieces melt faster than a whole slice. Beyond that, do you put the cheese on one slice of toast or bread? Or do you put the cheese on each? Because for the longest time, I always put it on just one piece of toast. But a buddy of mine, I saw him put shredded cheese on both slices. Blew my mind. I was like, damn. Because I always would leave one without cheese on it, so that way I can lift it and look under it to determine the doneness of the bread. And if you say, you know, have cheese on both, then you need to worry about balancing the cheese. But if you have a good grip on the balance of the cheese, then yeah, that's not a huge issue, and you can totally load up on extra cheese, or just have the cheese melt faster because it's smaller amounts that are being melted at a time instead of a large amount between both. I'm gonna, if I see the shop, I'll hit up the shop, but otherwise I'm not hell-bent on visiting it. is not a direction I want. I want to solve that problem before it could start again. Pretty sure is that my full grilled cheese knowledge. Feel maybe towards the end here. Because yeah, there's the different means. Yeah, I guess the last discussion point would be how done of doneness you would like. Me, I prefer mine like, you know, like a golden color. Because I feel like if I... Because, yeah. I don't want it to be overdone. Activate you for convenience. Actually, there's nothing really stopping us from just using the elevator, topping up on health before we take on the final boss fight. Well, the final boss fight of the base game. The initial release. Why are you here? There's really a fight room on the same floor with the boss. That's weird. I'm not used to that being a thing.
Please state you're going down.
I forgot that was a thing. But yes, so my ideal grilled cheese is something akin to that nice 5 grilled cheese with the waffle. Actually, I mean, it's a really good grilled cheese. I don't know if it can be perfected
the highest safety standards.
beyond that point. I don't know if there's room for further refinement.
Thank you very much for using this service.
I like to think that the perfect grilled cheese is still somewhere out there.
Oh, it's you.
And that's up to skilled artisans like me and others who pursue
Come back anytime.
the grilled cheese craft. Not the brand, that craft cheese sucks in my opinion. I do not want that in my grilled cheese. Okay,
Thank you for coming. Please
that's
stay
enough
at your
rambling.
desired
Let's take
floor.
on the final boss.
Going up.
I remember when I first beat this boss. I beat it and then within like a week they were like, hey, here's challenge floors.
This vessel is a class 100
Like I
cleaner.
ended up squeaking out that achievement just before they added more.
We look forward to your return.
I'm curious how much the flamethrower will do. For the sake of not dying. I don't want the low ammo one in my hand. Okay, once we cross this threshold, it'll start.
I had no idea you'd make it this far. Are you some kind of a pro gamer? Much respect. Word up, buddy. You're coming up on your final challenge. Apparently, you can't equip anything from this point forward. I'll hold on to your items for you in the meantime. Go on. Don't be shy. Come on. Take off your equipment.
So yeah, this is the confirmation. This is what we want.
Don't worry. I'll give everything back later. Good luck in your fight.
I'm gonna need to react so fast for the second part of this fight. Or the second round. The second fighter. You'll see what I mean in a minute.
Domo Doskoi. You must be quite the sumo wrestler to have made it this far. Our fighters seem to all be here, so let's proceed with the first match of the day.
Why are the subtitles all off?
Domo Doskoi.
The subtitles are off to the left for whatever reason.
This is a fight to the death. Winner takes all. Let the fight begin. Hajime!
Whoa! Sorry, Senpai. All your equipment got stolen. If you can survive, you should be able to get it all back. Good luck.
So yeah, that's the trick. If you knock your enemies out of the ring, then they just get destroyed. Now you can easily kill me with that gun. Oh, come on, finish him off. Give me this. Thankfully, it's not super powerful, Cohen. Rest of the stuff comes on, and we fight.
We meet at last for the final fight.
I never realized he has a whole ass battleship on his head.
Senpai! Did you get your equipment back? Man, you're almost at the top now.
Oh, Jesus. Always watch out for the second swallow. Let's just take a moment to appreciate the song because it fucking rocks. I should totally use this for like streaming something like a fighting game while I'm streaming a fighting game or something. Fuck yeah.
Your body and soul are that of Yokozuna. Domo arigato, fighter.
And his soul left his body.
Congratulations! Let me snap a photo to commemorate your 4th large stamp.
No way! You gotta be kidding me! I never thought you'd make it this far, dude. Ah!
He's right to be bewildered. For years, on the PS4 version of Let Die, the achievement for clearing floor 40 had about a 0.3% completion rate. 0.3% of all people who downloaded Let Die for years had reached the point you just witnessed and had seen the cutscene that you're about to see. This number would get a bit bigger over time as more and more people made it to the top, and with the Steam version, there was a new batch of people to challenge it and find their way up. But still, it's a very low percentage completion rate. And that was one of the reasons why I wanted to stream or showcase this game to some capacity to begin with. Because for the longest time, it was like 10 to 15% of people would beat the first boss. Like, this game between both platforms has had millions of downloads. Like, think of all the people who have never seen beyond the first boss, like the 10 floor boss, let alone everything up here. And that's what I wanted to showcase. That's why I wanted to bring. That's why I wanted to offer to people. Was the chance to experience this. To experience what millions had never seen.
You are now approaching the top of the tower. Thank you for participating in this event to reach the top of the Tower of Barbs, sponsored by the Yotsuyama Group. There is an important announcement from the Yotsuyama Group for any participant who manages to reach this escalator. What I am about to speak of is all fact. This tower was actually modified by the Yotsuyama Group after it was formed during the Earth Rage. The president of the Yotsuyama Group is none other than Uncle Death, a messenger from the underworld. Death was long ago entrusted with the task of strengthening the souls of the dead, and so this tower was designated for use as a training ground for that purpose. This training is conducted so that exceptionally strong souls may be delivered to the moon. That which you see before you is that moon, but of course not the moon as it is normally known. It is a ball of fire, fueled by these strong souls. Those flames will soon reach their peak and collide with the Earth, disintegrating it into cosmic dust in an instant. As you may have already figured out by now, Death has planned this collision of the moon and Earth all along. You were simply coerced into climbing this tower by disguising it in the form of a game. I apologize for having to give you this terrible news in your moment of glory upon reaching the top of the tower. But this voice guide and all things related to the Yotsuyama Group were created by Uncle Death in order to guide you and others to the top of this tower. I hope that you can accept your fate and these truths and allow yourself to be absorbed into the moon as intended. You are now approaching the top of the tower. Thank you for your hard work and support on this long journey.
It was all a work. My favorite of all the poses was Uncle Death holding all the different tubers.
I guess you know the whole story now. Everything you heard is true. My goal is to destroy all of humankind. Why? Because I am Death. What else would Death do? My job is to bring humans to their demise. Humans do nothing but corrupt and destroy the Earth. Even with the land split into 4 pieces, they cannot control their greed and continue to fight and kill each other. The time has come for them to pay for their sins by the hand of Hell's greatest punishment. So that's it. Game over. It was fun though, Senpai. Well, that was the plan anyway. But you know what? I'm done with all this. Senpai, the thing is, I've really come to respect you.
It's a miracle that you've managed to make it this far. Plus, the way you fought to get here. You're a world-class fighter. You can do anything. I really just want to see more of your amazing performance.
The true final boss. The final tuber.
So this is supposed to be where the last boss fight starts. But I'm done with all that now. check this out instead. It's the Death Drive Triple X. Have you heard about it? It just came out today. Come on, let's play.
So yep, we saved the world by impressing death with our sick OG gamer skills. We have become such a powerful gamer that death's like, nah, change of plans. I want to see you be awesome and do the video games good. I would love to see that fighting game.
I love the smell of new gaming hardware. Isn't it exciting? This is the long-awaited launch title for the Death Drive Triple X. Let It Die, Battle to the Top by Liquid Software. Yeah! I've loaded in your previous progress data. I'll be here cheering you on. If you need something, just drop me a text.
And now we get a new title screen.
Let it die.
Pretty sure this rumbling is the introduction to the challenge floors, right? Yep, he had more to the tower to challenge us.
Senpai, I just sent you a super important text right now. Be sure to read it.
I love Beetle and soda-based video game technology. That'd be so sick if that was a thing. And also sending text to Rolodexes. So yep, more fighters. Added more challenging floors. And I need to switch my mounts in the stamp collection. Oh, right. So you can go for perfect stamps instead of some of these are kind of faded. You can try and go in for all crisp ones. So the deal with the challenge floors, also that light is there to let me know that Majin has a tip for me, but I already have over a couple thousand hours of experience with this game, so I don't need any further tips or tricks. Unless he has something about a new weapon type they introduced, but while I was gone. But yeah, I first began my playthrough, my Let's Play for Let It Die back in 2019. And I had about 14 parts to it, maybe 15. Before I titled it the end, part 15, the end, and said that I was gonna call it there, that it was fun the first time to climb, but climbing a second time wasn't as fun. And then we fast forward to 2021. I began streaming because 2019 was the YouTube channel. And then COPPA compliance stuff came up and everybody was freaking out whether their channel would get deleted or not. And I was like, okay, I don't know what's going on. I'm just going to lay low until people know what the hell's going on with YouTube. And yeah, 2021, I was like, well, all right, stream. And at one point, I had run low on stuff to stream, or was Let Die the first stream? I decided that, I would visit it on and off. Or I had visited it at the time, but then I had other stuff I wanted to stream, and I had done that for a while. And then I went back to this and streamed it for a bit. Died to Cohen, or not Cohen, but Goto on floor 36. Had my baby rage rant, called this game cock and ball torture, and ended the series the second time. And now, 2 years later, no, 3 years later, yeah, over 3 years at this point, we have finally hit floor 40. The reason I ended the series twice was because I was torn. I didn't know if it was healthier to end the series or to continue the series. Because back when I first started playing this game in 2017 on the PS4 version, I was at a pretty low point in my life. I'm not gonna get into super nitty gritty, not gonna get into super personal details. I had lost some family. I was struggling to get through community college. And I was stressed because I had quit bowling to focus on my studies, but bowling was one of my stress outlets, and video games was my other stress outlet. And having my free time be nothing but video games made me feel like shit. Because it's like, what the fuck am I doing? Having this be all I do in my spare time? I could be doing other more productive shit in my spare time. Which, your spare time is your spare time. Like, as long as if you're maintaining your, main focus time, then what you do in your spare time shouldn't be too massive of a concern. I was just in my own head about fucking everything. So I was like, I'm gonna take a short break from community college, maybe go get some work going, get some work experience under my belt. And I had also heard that Let It Die had started. And next thing I know, I wasn't doing any work. I wasn't doing anything. I was wallowing in my mourning of the family that I lost. I guess I am going into personal details. Fuck it. I was waking up, playing this game, eating, playing this game, going to sleep, and that was my daily routine for a whole fucking year. Like, you don't reach 2,000 hours in a game without being a hardcore no life about it. I'm not proud of it, and anytime I was touching this game, even though it was under the context of, well, you know, oh, I'm making YouTube videos, you know, it's not just me spiraling back to the pit that I once fell into and struggled to crawl out of. You know, it's productive. It's getting, you know, it's gonna get views. It's gonna be on the internet. It might help start a channel or something. Who knows? It's more than just sitting on my ass in my quiet room, having no one see it. So it's different. And anytime I played, I would just, all the feelings of what a fucking loser I was back then when I first played this game came flooding back. And that's why I quit as many times as I did. That's why it took us 3 years despite me touting my 2,000 hours of experience, because that 2,000 hours of experience have left a pretty large amount of baggage on my shoulders, a pretty bitter taste in my mouth towards this game. You know, I had 2,100 hours in this game on my PS4 account. And I reached floor 100 of the endless floors. And I was not proud of a single second of it. Because of just what a complete roadblock in my life all that was. And so, with this being the first endeavor I ever attempted on my channel, it was like, which is worse? Going back and experiencing the old feelings, or knowing that the very first playthrough I ever had on this channel would sit unfinished? And that's why I would come back, and that's why I would leave. I would come back because I want to not have the stain of my very first playthrough be completely undone, sitting on all of my creative endeavors. And then the pain of coming back and having all the memories return would be too immense, and I would drop the game again. Will I go on to do the challenge floors? I don't know. Did this serve as a point of healing? Well, with how shit I feel right now, no, I don't think it really was. Do I feel obligated to show the challenge floors? Not really. This is gonna be it. This is the definitive end. I want to show people what lied beyond. I want to show people what lied beyond the roadblocks everyone else faced. I want to show off what the top of the tower looked like. I want to show off the cutscenes. There aren't really any unique cutscenes for the challenge floors, I don't believe. It's just the animation of you returning back to the tower after you reach an endpoint in the challenge floors. The animation for you returning back after climbing is similar to... Hang on, it's not here. It's similar to the trippy psychedelic effect that taking one of these does. You get this trippy multicolor rainbow effect going on as your character stumbles back to the room. That's what happens when we reach floor 350 of the endless floors, because people have been crazy enough to do that. In fact, they're so crazy about it that some people have like speed runs of how fast they can get from floor 52 to floor 350, which those players are cracked. Their gamer skills are immense. I'm sure Uncle Death is very proud of them. And honestly, I'm impressed. That takes a lot of skill, knowledge, and adaptability to be able to reach those. I do not begrudge them, but at the same time, I do not personally want to pursue that myself. If you want to see that high level play, I recommend go seeking out that content. It's nuts. I've watched a couple high level Let It Die YouTubers. Truly a league of their own. Much respect. But that's not gonna be me. My own personal baggage from my own personal experiences with this game and the state my life was in when I played it. I'm just gonna bow out here. Thank you for watching. I hope the cutscenes made up for my apathy and my desire to talk about other things to take my mind off the pain as I went through. The fuck it, I'm finishing this shit now attitude that came from developing this advanced challenge floor ready assault rifle to just mow through the last of the game, but I just wanted the series to truly be over with. And we have reached that point. I know I haven't been streaming a whole lot, but I want to take some time to process this stuff. Hopefully, it's one of those things where by the time I would feel ready to start streaming again, I would probably have a new job lined up because there's some work opportunity that I'm gonna try and go for. And if I get it, then I'll be adjusting to that, and it'll be probably even longer before I come back to stream, so no promises on when I come back. Depending on how work endeavors go, I might be back in a week. I might not be back for a month, but whenever everything settles, I will try and come back. And if I do get the job opportunity, I'll have money. I'll have spare money to be able to buy new games, to be able to stream to you. And that would be pretty hype. So for now, it's unsure when I'll be back. But when I come back, it sure as hell ain't gonna be this. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a nice night. Goodbye.